Hello, we're finishing off Micah in today's reading, and there's just so much hope in this passage because in our reading today, Jesus is introduced. And so it talks about a time coming, this is in the beginning of chapter 5, but you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be the ruler over Israel. And so it's like, here he comes. There's going to be a long wait because from the time that this prophecy was given, there would be about 700 years before Jesus would show up on the scene. But and then it says in verse 3, therefore Israel will be abandoned until the time when she who is in labour gives birth. And in this prophecy about Jesus, so that there will be a long wait, but it's going to be worth the wait because he's going to be a different kind of ruler from what they've seen. The highs, the lows, many more lows than highs in Israel's leaders. This one is going to be one of the things that's going to mark Jesus out. Is it says there in verse 2, out of you will come for me one who will rule. So Jesus is not going to rule with his own ambitions and with his own wisdom, but it's for God that he's coming, and he's coming to serve God's purposes. And he's going to rule in a whole other way. He will stand. That means he's not going to fall. He's going to stand forever. There's going to be an enduring line now that will come through Jesus, and he's going to shepherd his flock. And it's something that we miss, other than in things like Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. It's such a caring title, this one of Jesus, shepherding. It's a caring leadership rather than simply an authoritarian leadership. And he's going to shepherd the flock and do it in the strength of the Lord. And he will be their peace. So there's all this hope. And when it says he'll be our peace, and he's the Prince of Peace, he is our peace. And there's that peace that he builds into our life because he brings that peaceful relationship between us and God, the redemption of our sins. And it goes on right at the very end of this passage in chapter 8, verse 18, who is God like you? And I mentioned yesterday that the name Micah means who is like Yahweh. And it comes up again like his name is saying, who is like you? There's no one else. Nothing comes close to you. The God who pardons our sins and forgives our transgressions. So even in the light of all this, talking about, you're going to have to be punished because you haven't kept your covenant of love with God. This love that is about heart attitude. It says, sorry to jump around, but in verse 8, he's shown you, oh man, what is good. It's not about sacrifices. It's certainly not about when he says, shall I offer my firstborn for my transgressions in verse 7, it's not about the sacrifices. Primarily, it's about attitude, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God. And yet they've not done those things. And so there is the punishment, but it points us back at the end to this is our God who forgives, pardons our sin and forgives our transgressions. And it talks about throwing our sin into the sea, and that picture that would have been so vivid to the people that have been brought out of Egypt. What did he do with their enemies? The sea swallowed them up and they were seen no more. And in the same way, our great enemy, our sin that would divide us, that would have kept us from God, it says, this is how I deal with your sin. It's swallowed up in the sea and it is no more. This is what hope is. Hope is the faith that we have in our God who loves us, our shepherd leader, the one who swallows up our sin and who makes a way for us. That's hope. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.